How exactly is it that Ronnie Radke seems so uncancelable in the internet age, especially in a time where people lose their platforms left, right, and center for saying the bare minimum? How is he able to go on so many tangents? How is he able to be combative against the entire industry, to go after his fans, to have so many allegations against him, to constantly run his mouth on social media, to get in public fights at concerts, not to mention his incarceration, or the fact he comes from the scene, which notoriously gets bad reputations? How exactly is it that he can come out the other side with so much support and acclaim and even get a bigger platform? Now, obviously, diving into the parasocial relationship of Ronnie Radke and the cult of personality he's built around him would obviously take hours, but I want to just go over some of the biggest things that I've noticed and the things that I think have contributed the most to this phenomenon. When Ronnie Radke returned to the music scene and he started to make music with Falling in Reverse, and all the people in the niche and community were shitting their pants and being like, Falling in Reverse is back, although they were very different, of course, with a much different style, with different influences from pretty much start to finish. Immediately, Ronnie started to lean into this sort of anti-industry and anti-hater mentality, almost in the same way that a rapper would, which is funny considering he did rap in the past and how much rap has influenced modern Falling in Reverse, making its way into their biggest tracks nowadays, with ever since the return, him putting on sort of this NF sort of rapping style mixed in with the post-hardcore of the past. And contrary to what a lot of people think and the snowflake type of people online think, when you are charismatic and when you go against the grain and when you have sort of this Andrew Tate-like personality, people are going to be drawn to you. And am I saying Ronnie Radke is a bit comparable to Andrew Tate? Yes. If you really look at a lot of how they approach their marketing and how they built up this fan base, as well as the people who are like attracted and infatuated to Ronnie Radke, are they really that different at their core? Both are very loud, rambunctious people that built up a social media presence after coming back after a while, who attracted a fan base of people who are very anti-industry, usually having a very harsh outlook on the world and not really fitting in with other contemporary people, and people sort of flocking to their mentality of just fuck the haters, fuck the rest of the world, believe in yourself, with Ronnie Radke always having these hot takes on social media and these hot takes in interviews, and it garnering so much buzz and people being drawn to that, which inflates the numbers more and more, drawing more and more people into the community and making all of the people that sort of agree and have this sort of mentality come together, birds of a feather flock together, and so they have a community within the Ronnie Radke community. I also wanted to say that this isn't really going to go that much into Falling in Reverse's music or Ronnie Radke as a musician, because I actually like a lot of Falling in Reverse's material. I like Ronnie Radke as a musician. I just wanted to kind of make this video solely about how people are constantly trying to cancel him and how it just never seems to work, and quite the contrary, strengthens him. He also has this unique approach to things, and I think he could be indicative of a greater resurgence of people that are anti-cancel culture. He's gone on record multiple times saying how he is so against cancel culture, how he thinks it's stupid, how he thinks that it's overblown, and people throw that term around. And without a shadow of a doubt, unfortunately in the modern sphere, cancel culture has devoured a lot of things and has resulted in not only a lot of people falsely losing their platform. You saw it happen with CJ McCreery, you saw it happen with Tillian from Dance Gavin Dance. It's fun to make allegations and it's fun to repost a tweet or blindly agree with victims when you are ruining people's lives in the process, especially when you do not have a due process or you give people the chance to have two sides of an argument. It also goes hand in hand with the acknowledgement that Ronnie Radke is an asshole, and that is in no way like supposed to be a positive or negative thing, but kind of like in the Donald Trump effect, once again, when you have someone that's like that, or like the Tom McDonald effect, when you have someone who was just so openly rambunctious and against the status quo and going against the grain and willing to just belligerently attack anyone and be an assailant and talk bad about haters and just go on live streams, go on interviews and just run their mouths, it is attractive because people people like to see that. People like to have a good laugh, and whether or not you agree with him as a person or you agree with his stances, many of which he has some pretty damaging opinions and stances that he has openly said, you can't deny the power of a good personality. And Ronnie Radke sticks out like a sore thumb, and I would go so far as to say, in the past couple of decades, he is one of the most charismatic, well-recognizable, and most notable frontmen or frontwomen of any band or rock and metal, period, because he has such a personality that transcends the artistic medium that he is in. Most of the time, a lot of frontmen will just sort of fade into the background. You won't really know a lot of the people that are the frontmen or frontwomen of big bands, and even if you know them by name, what could you tell me about them? What could you say about their beliefs or their opinions? And the only way that you would be able to answer those questions is if you saw a headline on Loudwire or something on Banger TV or whatever on your rock feed, or if you saw an interview. And if you are watching interviews and you're in that sort of vein, you probably are a big fan of the band, period, so I would expect you to know something about them. There are people that don't really like Falling in Reverse at all, or literally hate Ronnie Radke as a person, that could tell you dozens of things about what he believes in, what he thinks, his opinions on certain people, his opinions on certain political topics. And when you're such a staunch advocate of so many positions and you make your opinions perfectly clear from a musical department which already attracts people who will attach your message to their own lives and resonate with that, people are going to immediately equate your opinions to their opinions, and if they find they agree with you or come to agree with you, that is only going to strengthen that bond. And one thing I don't want to sell short about this is he kind of feeds off negativity. As his fan base grows, it bolsters his reputation because he goes against haters so much and he is so adamantly willing to attack anyone who says anything even remotely bad about him. I think people overblow losing your platform or being canceled. Being canceled in this world is truly very hard, and for all of the things of like the Me Too era and YouTubers being canceled for saying something racist 10 years ago on Twitter or whatever, it is extremely hard to lose your platform. There's always going to be a place for you to be able to fucking come back, unless you're literally like EDP or like you're literally like a child groomer or a murderer or something. Not to mention, Ronnie Radke was already coming off of a very delicate and dangerous and damaging time in his life, so there were already a lot of very stark opinions on him. People already were on one side of the fence or the other, and the people that liked Falling in Reverse and Ronnie as a person, they were coming into it with pretty low expectations or justifications for the type of person that he was. And so when he came back, this was nothing to him. He didn't sweat haters. He had been through so much already, and so much media backlash, so much community backlash, and his platform definitely did diminish a whole lot, so he had nowhere to go but up. And there are a lot of people that put aside the type of person he is and separate that because he is an extremely talented musician, and Falling in Reverse are larger than they have ever been before, and Ronnie as a presence and just as a frontman and as a person has garnered so much more acclaim and notoriety and publicity than he ever did back in the days of Escape the Fate and Falling in Reverse in the past. I know it's kind of stupid for me to sit here and say you can only be canceled if you allow yourself to be canceled, but God forbid, that's kind of what Ronnie Radke is living proof of. You can say as much as you want and you can run your mouth about just about anything, but you're always going to have an audience and a demographic, and if you're a good musician or a good artist, it shows that you can kind of transcend that. With a lot of people that don't agree with the things that he believes in very adamantly, they listen to his music anyway because they enjoy his music and he's good at what he does. But what are your guys' opinions of Ronnie Radke and the fact that he just cannot be canceled compared to so many people? You can let me know down in the comment section below. No judgment, no matter where you lie on the issue in massive fucking air quotes. It's not really that deep. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know it is. My name is Jay Morris, and I'm signing off saying farewell.